I wanted to film this video not only as a video for myself to look back on at the end of the year and see what New Year's resolutions I stuck to, but also hopefully as inspiration to some of you, because I personally really love watching New Year's resolution videos from people who have similar lifestyles as me. So some of them I actually did steal from other influencers on YouTube, in particular Shelby. So I will be mentioning that, but hopefully you'll get inspired and want to take some action yourself and set yourself some of these goals this year. After the awful year that we all had in 2020, I think New Year's resolutions for 2021 are such an important thing for everyone, to set yourself goals and hope for a better year, make yourself a better person this year after many disappointing events happening and probably not achieving your goals last year. I know if I go back on my resolutions, I probably didn't really get to do any of them. So I really knuckled down and wrote a big long list of things, and I'm going to divide it up into health, social, productivity and business, and zero waste. Some of these are quite small, they're not necessarily big goals, but they are something that I want to achieve in the year, so it's kind of more like my to-do list for 2021 and hopefully something that I can keep on in the years following. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's start off with health. I think every year everybody sets themselves the goal of being more healthy, exercising more, but really this year more than ever, I'm adamant to keep it going throughout the whole year. With all of the uni work online now, I really lack the motivation to do things for fun and leave the house. So this year I have set myself just a few goals to improve my health so that it's not too overwhelming. One is to exercise each day. Now that might sound quite overwhelming, but I am not going to be too hard on myself and at least do stretches. So every morning I try and do some stretches. If I have any pain, I'll look up some stretches for that. So recently I stretched my neck for my headaches. I had some hip pains, so I stretched those out, and when I'm not doing that, I'm doing something for increasing flexibility, which is just a personal goal for me. So I've been doing stretches for that. And on more intense days, I'll do some sort of workout like dancing, and I have scheduled each week to do a workout with my friends to keep me motivated so we can push each other. So I know that at least if I don't do it every day, I will have that workout that I need to do each week with my friends. And that's something that's really important to me, because if I just leave it in my own hands, I know that I can just cheat and be like, I'll skip a few days or I won't do it. So knowing that there's somebody else that's relying on you to be there is very good at motivating me to do it. So I will recommend that if you're struggling to keep up with a schedule. And with the exercises so far, I've been maintaining that, so that's been really good. Something else that's quite important but not too big is to regulate my water intake. So I used to have this big jug that people use for punch, and I used to fill all of that up with water and have to drink all that in the day, but I really don't have a method of measuring my water intake, so I really want to make sure I have my own glass that I know the amount of and regulate that. Another thing that's involving health is eating. So it is now officially a year since I've been vegan, and it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it, but I've not been the healthiest of vegan. I've been eating a lot of processed foods, and then instead of looking up new meals, we've just made the meals we used to eat vegan, and that involves a lot of processed fake meats like corn and all of those. And I really want to stop doing that and rely on naturally sourced proteins from vegetables and beans and pulses like that. And I've not been very good at doing that yet, but small steps, and hopefully I will be able to achieve that by the end of the year. I also really want to find ones that aren't plastic covered. And next we'll go on to my social resolutions. Now there's not many in this, but I have found that university has really taught me to value who my friends are, because I had high expectations for university. Loads of people told me that you'll make friends for life at university, and I thought so too. I thought I'll be doing a course that's very specific and I'll find people that have similar interests to me because we're all doing the same course. And I was very wrong about that. I very much struggled to make friends in my first 2 years. It's only my last year that I've actually properly made friends, and it really made me down. And I think I put too much strain on myself to find friends, and that's why I didn't let the natural process occur. Along with that, I also ended up trying to please too many people, and a lot of those people ended up being quite toxic. Not necessarily intending to be, but being friends with them made me feel bad. I don't want to go too into it right now, but yeah, I need to stop trying to be friends with people like that and just cut them out. And then along with that is my next resolution, and that's to keep better contact with my friends. Like I mentioned, first 2 years of university didn't go as I planned, and because people told me that you make friends for life at university, I didn't make as much of an effort with my other friends as I should have. And although I have made some good friends at uni, I really believe that I made very good friends throughout all stages of my life, in school, at college, and at university. So I have, from the end of 2020, been making some good efforts to make sure I keep in contact with everyone, and it's been very good on my mental health. So I will continue on doing that indefinitely. I've been doing that by setting up activities to do with each other. Of course, with the pandemic, that's kind of hard to do, but I've been the one reaching out a lot of the time. So scheduling calls to catch up, constantly sending messages on updates on how people are, doing some sort of activities online, like the workouts that we do each week with some of my friends, or playing games together online. I really believe that helped me a lot. And now we're going on to a kind of mixed category of productivity, business, and organization. So in this year, I am really setting myself a goal to build on my social media. I really want to work on it and get a better following so I can reach out to more people and gain some friends throughout the zero waste community, because a lot of people in my life don't really understand me as much. I am finding more people that are, but yes, so my goal is to make a video each week. So far I haven't really stuck to that, but I've actually done more than expected. So nearly every day I've been making a TikTok, so make sure you go follow my TikTok and Instagram. I've also been posting a lot on. I am making zero waste videos on snacks, so a lot of rubbish comes from my snack cupboard. So I've made a list of snacks that I enjoy but usually come in plastic packaging, and I am actually making them myself instead, and it's been really good. I have made a lot of good food. May not be the healthiest food, but it's plastic free, so I'm very happy with that. I am currently still on break. My semester hasn't officially started yet, so that might slow down a bit when university starts, but then I hope that I'll find at least one day to edit and one day to film footage each week. And with that, I really want to keep a more detailed calendar. I have recently moved my calendar onto my phone. I used to just keep a vague to-do list on my laptop and write down on a physical calendar, which I received years ago. It's still not used up, but I moved on to my phone because it really helps me, and I can access it online wherever I want and keep more organized. So I really want to continue on becoming more organized in that way and planning things out, even little things, putting them on the calendar so I can keep track of everything. And then this is something that I have had on my resolutions for a while. It's to sort out my photos, which sounds really weird, but I'm a bit of a neat freak when it comes to everything, and especially with folders on laptops and stuff like that stress me out so much. And most of my photos I've been organizing for like the past 2 years, trying to get them the way I want. I'm very specific about that, but I've never had a place that has enough storage capacity to put them all in one place. But over Christmas, my dad helped me sort out, I can't remember what it's called, I'll put it here what it's called, but it's a storage device. It's like a mini computer, and he helped me source one secondhand because he knows lots of tech stuff. So I've been transferring everything on there, and my goal has always been at the end of each month organize the photos from that month so that I remember the locations, the people I was with, so it's nice and detailed, and then whenever I want to find that can be accessible. But obviously I still need to organize all the photos for the past 21 years of my life, so I will be doing that along the process, but also catching up with photos. That's a very niche resolution, but it's personal to me, and with that I do also want to sort out my physical memories that I have in boxes. I have some with me here, some at my boyfriend's place, some at my parents' place, so hopefully in the next couple years I can get that all in one place. But I do want to organize them in their individual slots. I tend to come back from like holidays with memory stuff, like little receipts and stuff, and all my notes, because whenever I'm on holiday I always write a diary, and I just want to make sure that's all organized in its years, and just generally get rid of things that I don't have an emotional attachment to, because I keep lots of leaflets and things like that, but then when I look back on them I don't even remember what they're for, so it's just taking up space. So I do want to minimize that, but without losing any memories. Now to something a bit more related to my channel, and something that you guys might relate to a bit more. Here are my zero waste solutions. Now, like I mentioned at the start, I did steal a couple of these from Shelby, but they were so good, and I really want to do them this year as well, that I have included them in my personal New Year's resolutions too. Each month I want to write to a company asking them to make a change. Now, this might need a bit of explanation. Basically, as I just go along with my life, if I notice a company whose product I really enjoy, but their packaging or their sustainability goals aren't just where they're supposed to be, I will write them down and then email them asking them to make a change, or asking them what their plans for the future are, things like that. So I've actually already done this. I made a list of 3 companies: Small, Ocean Saver and Cadbury, which was kind of ambitious, and I've included some footage of that here. This is a reply from when I emailed Cadbury. I didn't realize they were owned by Mondelez, but the reason I wanted to email them was because I eat Bournville, which is the only vegan chocolate bar I enjoy, which is in plastic, and they kind of gave me this very generic reply about they prioritizing having recycled packaging, but that never said, look, 100% recyclable packaging. That doesn't necessarily mean cardboard, it could still mean plastic, and it was just very vague reply. So I wasn't even expecting a reply, to be honest, though. This one was kind of a throw in the dark because it is such a big company, but maybe I might go and persist a bit more. Next is a company I recently tried out, which is Small. They claim to be 100% plastic free, but when I did the trial, it did have a little plastic tab. If you want to find out my opinion on that, I will be linking the YouTube video to that later on. And also they do have a service where you can get refills for bottles for cleaning products, but this requires you to buy the bottle first, and I want to email them about possibly having an alternative to that and being able to just buy the refills straight away, because some people like me already have the bottles and don't need to be buying new bottles. And also their conditioner bottles claim to be 100% post-consumer plastic, but nothing was stated about that, so I was wondering if that was still 100% post-consumer as well for their other spray bottles. This is the response I got pretty quickly, so I was quite happy with that. They are saying that the tape is a temporary hygiene measure during the pandemic, and that they have tried using recyclable tapes but none of them worked, so I'm thinking, what did they use before the plastic tape if it's just temporary now? And then they're inks and adhesives are compostable, which is great, but the part about the spray bottles is kind of dodgy because they said that they have to be special to meet the dilutions of the bottles, which is weird because other companies like Ocean Saver just tells you the size of the bottle needed, and it says otherwise they have no knowledge that the product would work as well, which makes me think they're either being very weird about it or there's something dodgy in their product. But then I sent a reply. This reply has not received any further feedback, but I said that it's great about their packaging labels. I then recommended the tape, sellotape zero plastic. I haven't used it myself, but it's more like normal tape, so that might be better alternative than using actually plastic tape. And then regarding the spray bottles, I mentioned me purchasing them from Facebook Marketplace from somebody that wasn't happy to save waste from that, but then I wouldn't be able to purchase refills, which is quite frustrating. But yeah, I've not received an email about that, so I might include this in my next month's email and see if I can get some feedback on this because I'm really not happy about that. Also failed to answer my question on the making of the bottles and being made of post-consumer plastic, so that's another frustrating thing. I even numbered the questions to make it easier. Next email I sent was to Ocean Saver, and it's about their spray bottles I purchased with my mum, and I will be posting a review of those soon. But each one had their own sticker in, and apparently these were plastic free, so that's good, but I still thought it was a bit wasteful to include a sticker in each one. And I mentioned possibly printing ingredients and safety measures on the cardboard packaging, which is already included. And they actually replied a lot faster than I expected. Some of them then didn't reply to my reply, but it was better than I thought it would come to. Some of them were kind of disappointing, but for a first try at emailing companies, I think that was quite a success. I'm sure I'll get better at it in the years to come, and I'll be persistent and update you guys on that if you would like. Another goal of mine is to not buy anything new. This is actually inspired by one of my friends who did that in the last year, which I'm very impressed with. I have a tendency to need something and then not find it immediately secondhand, so then I count that as a justification for buying it secondhand. Don't get me wrong, buying things new is also okay. I'm actually going to be filming a video about things I bought new 2020, regrets and good decisions, so keep an eye out for that. But yeah, my goal for this year is to actually not buy anything new. I obviously don't immediately need anything right now, so I'm sure if there's anything that I would have bought new, I can live without it, and something will come along secondhand and you'll save that from waste. This obviously doesn't include food or body products or washing products, so like obviously can't buy washing up liquid secondhand, although I have been using this new laundry pods, and I have found people selling those secondhand from the company because they didn't enjoy them, so I will be doing that. But obviously that's an exception and I won't be worried about that. But with everything else, clothing, technology, any other knickknacks I decide to purchase, I will be getting those all secondhand, and I will also be posting about those too. Along with not purchasing anything new, the things I do pay, whether it's a product or a service, I really want to analyze properly and make sure it's the most sustainable choice I'm making. So that's regarding what bank I'm supporting, what my electrical or energy supplier is, and so I will be filming my process through that because I've never really considered it before, but it is something really important because you're investing a lot of money and not necessarily paying attention to it, and it's very important to support the businesses that are making a difference. So I will be getting to that at some point, and I know with my energy I don't think that's going to be a problem because when we moved to this student apartment we got to choose our energy supplier, and that is Octopus Energy, who are 100% renewable, and they're doing a lot of great things I've seen, but I will be reading more into it just in case it's not true. And this also applies to small things. So Shelby called it a trash audit, where you go through your rubbish and the packaging that you're binning and deciding if you're really making the best options possible. So you tend to just end up buying things because they're convenient at the time, but they might not be the best product to be purchasing. So I will be trying to do that as I am emptying my recycling bin and making notes in there and trying to make better decisions from then on. And the next couple things aren't too important, they're a bit more personal, but one thing is also related to health, and it's to eat more seasonally and locally. Currently it's kind of hard to purchase locally because we don't really have farmers markets at the moment because of the pandemic, and I'm not really able to grow my own vegetables because we live in a flat with no balcony and only a bathroom window which gets good enough lighting. But I have been trying to grow my own veggies here in the past, but to try buy food seasonally so that it's healthier, because then it's not been frozen for God knows how long, and it's just better for your health as well as the environment. And then the rest of these things are related to kind of crafting but being zero waste. I really want to work on my skills when it comes to mending clothing. Usually I kind of just sew over the hole, but then it looks rough, and I've seen so many great videos of people making it like there's no damage before, so I really want to work on that. So I do have a massive pile of clothes that I've just been dumping whenever I find a hole or it's broken or I want to upcycle it. So we'll be going through that, and we'll be filming the process of that as well, and also be better at making clothes. I have a project in my mind. I got lots of secondhand denim whenever I spotted it really cheap, and I do want to cut it and make my own shorts out of it. And in general, I do really like the idea of going to outlet shops and buying fabrics that are discontinued or lots of scrap fabrics and making clothes out of them. I really think that would be a great thing to purchase and possibly sell in the future. So I do want to practice that because I am very whiffy when it comes to measurements, and I kind of just do whatever, and they're not usually accurate. So I really want to work on that. I have recently purchased one of those pizza cutter knives which are for cutting materials, so I will be working on that, also filming the process. And the last thing I'm going to end on is to actually do the project I've been saving on Pinterest. I have a huge Pinterest board for crafts or DIY things to do, and it ranges from making natural dyes to different cool embroidery to upcycling random stuff. And like the food I've been doing on TikTok, I've made a list of 30 different crafts that I looked through there. There's hundreds of more if it's popular, but I will be going through that and actually forcing myself to make things I've wanted to in a while, and working on certain skills. Like I've got knitting needles that I got secondhand, but I don't actually know how to knit. I'm a crocheter. So yeah, if you do want to see more of that, make sure you follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I also post on Facebook and on YouTube when I can. But those are my New Year's resolutions. Let me know if you have any other ideas you think would interest me down in the comments below, or just share what New Year's resolutions you have that are zero waste. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.